I could see the fury in Charles Whitaker's eyes from inside my toll booth, his fingers stabbing the air toward the sign above the barrier. Private road, pay to pass. He was the fourth Homeowners Association board member to pull up that morning, and by far the most enraged. Behind him, a parade of gleaming SUVs and sleek sedans snaked back nearly a quarter mile, horns blaring as the Willow Grove Estates commute ground to a halt. I was the wrench in their polished machine, and Charles's face was turning a shade of red that rivaled my heirloom tomatoes. Through the bulletproof glass, I pointed calmly to my credit card reader. $100 per vehicle, no exceptions. Cash or card. I flashed the same easy smile I use at the farmer's market when folks try to haggle over my sweet corn. His wife, Evelyn, sat in the passenger seat. Phone pressed to her ear, probably dialing their lawyer. The honking grew louder, but I just sipped my coffee grandpa's old blend, strong enough to wake the dead and waited. I've been in that booth since 5:30 a.m., watching the sun creep over the hills of my farm. The booth wasn't much, just an 8x8 box with a space heater, a comfy chair, and a toll system that cost me a small fortune to install. Cameras recorded every angle, a precaution for the legal storm I knew was coming. I even had a portable restroom tucked behind, because I wasn't Leah VYing my post on this day, not for a second. As Charles pounded the glass, spitting insults, I noticed residents filming with their phones. Good. Let the world see what happens when you mess with a farmer's life. Let them see the price of arrogance. My name's Ethan Caldwell, and until 3 weeks ago, I was just a farmer trying to keep my family's 40 acres alive. We've worked this land since 1923, when my great-grandfather bought it with Steel Mill SAVY NGS. He walked the county for months, sifting soil until he found this spot-rich, dark earth he called Caldwell's Hope. My grandfather grew the farm after the war, my dad brought in sustainable tricks, and when cancer took him 5 years back, I ditched a career in AG science to come home. Now, I grow everything from zucchini to heritage apples, supplying local diners, markets, and 30 families in my CSA program. It's not glamorous, but it's honest. My 4 workers are like kin, and we hire extra hands for harvest. We're not rich, but we're keeping something real in a world obsessed with shortcuts. My farm sits just outside town, and for years I used a narrow road alongside old woods to reach my back fields. Grandpa secured that access in the 50s with a handshake from the Harper family, who ran a dairy next door. That deal, later notarized, held for decades until Willow Grove Estates rolled in 3 years ago. The developers bought out the Harper's descendants, who'd long since left, and turned pastures into cookie-cutter mansions. At first, they honored my road access. I'd wave to dog walkers, they'd compliment my fields, and I kept my tractors clean to be a good neighbor. Then Victor Lang took over as HOA president, and it all went to hell. It started with a letter complaining my tractors left mud on their road. I added cleaning protocols, but soon came another gripe about my sheds unsightly look, sheds older than their sub-VY shown. They demanded I paint them Willow Grove taupe. I wrote back, polite but firm, my property, my sheds. That's when the gloves came off. Noise complaints about my equipment, violation notices over fertilizer smells, even a ridiculous claim that my scarecrows scared kids. Each letter, signed by Victor, got nastier. It wasn't about mud or sheds, they just didn't want to farm next to their pristine bubble. I tried reasoning, offering to limit early work and in VYing the board for a farm-to-table lunch. I spent days prepping, but only one member, Claire Monroe, showed up. She was kind, impressed by my drip irrigation and minimal pesticides, but admitted Victor was painting my farm as a slum to tank their property values. Worse, he had ties to a developer eyeing my land for more mansions. Clara whispered, "He thinks if they make your life miserable, you'll sell." Then came the barriers. One Monday, I found concrete Jersey walls blocking my road, a laminated sign declaring it HOA property, banning farm use. My main field due lot 7,000 in crops was cut off, with harvest 2 weeks away. The sheriff called it a CIVYL matter. My lawyer said a court fight could take months. That night, I paced the farmhouse, my boots creaking on floors where Dad taught me crop math and Grandpa spun Dust Bowl tales. Caldwells don't quit. I dug through old deeds, surveys, and Dad's journals under the glow of his brass lamp. At 2 a.m., I found it, a journal entry about an updated easement, notarized 15 years ago. I pried open Dad's hidden safe and pulled out a manila envelope. Inside, a document guaranteed my access, no matter who owned the neighboring land. At dawn, I called Jake Thornton, an old high school buddy now a county surveyor. I sent him the easement and begged for any leverage. 2 days later, he spread a map on his desk. A 2-acre strip along the HOA's entrance road included wasn't part of their development. It was for sale, a leftover lot the developers didn't want. Jake grinned. Whoever owns this controls their only way in and out. My heart raced. I called the developer, offered my SA, VY, NGS, and a credit line, and 3 days later, I owned that strip. My lawyer was stunned. You don't just have your road back, you own their gate. I decided to teach Victor a lesson. The county greenlit my private toll road permit. The HOA's easement guaranteed access, not free rides. I hired a crew to build a booth and install a toll system in one weekend. By Sunday night, a sign loomed. Private road, pay to pass, due law 100 per vehicle, farm vehicles exempt. Monday at 6:15 a.m., a Mercedes screeched to a stop. The driver laughed, then fumed, finally swiping his card. By 7:30, cars stretched to the horizon, horns screaming. My phone buzzed with voicemails I ignored. A cop arrived at 8:15, lights flashing, but my deed and permit shut him down. You're within your rights, he said, a flicker of a smile as he recalled my blocked road report. Victor showed up at 9:30, lawyer in tow, face like a storm cloud. This is harassment, he roared. I tapped my permit. My land, my rules. $100 to pass. His lawyer whispered, and Victor stormed off, tires squealing. By noon, residents were filming, and news vans lined the road, framing me as the little guy versus the HOA Goliath. I stayed quiet, letting the story tell itself. Some paid the toll grudgingly. Others turned back, cursing. I made exceptions, saying an elderly couple on a fixed income got a due law 20 rate, and I waved through landscapers and delivery trucks. A mom with kids late for soccer got a break, too. This wasn't about cruelty. It was about respect. At the HOA's emergency meeting, Clara texted me updates. Residents raged, Victor floundered, and their lawyer admitted my ownership left them powerless. A new entrance would take years and millions. They ousted Victor in a no-confidence vote. The next morning, 4 board members, minus Victor, arrived with a deal. Barriers gone, easement acknowledged, public apology. I signed but kept the booth. New terms. Due law 100 for board members. Due law 5 for residents. Due law 20 monthly passes. Farm vehicles and my customers? Free. The tolls would fund road upkeep and a farm stand, right where Willow Grove couldn't miss it. The stand became my pride. I hired a local builder, using reclaimed barnwood and stone from our fields. Artisans pitched iron hinges, stained glass vegetable panels, a carved sign reading Caldwell Family Farm, since 1923, with scenes of our seasons. Clara brought plants, a professor's students built a garden, and the stand grew into a symbol of community over greed. Even Charles Whitaker bought strawberries, mumbling an apology. The stand drew crowds, not just from Willow Grove, but beyond. The toll booth stayed, a quiet reminder. Every time Victor pays his due law 100, I thank him. Without his scheming, I'd never have found that land's true power not in cash, but in respect. The HOA sowed barriers and reaped chaos. I sowed stubbornness and harvested justice. In farming and neighbors, you get what you plant. So what do you think? Was I right to hit back with the toll booth? Or did I go too far? Should neighbors have to pay for their mistakes like this? Or is forgiveness the better path? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you're team farmer, and subscribe for more stories where the little guy fights back. Let's hear you.